Bonaventure trying to do the same thing, but Steve, they're going to have to do it without Oshunii out tonight with an ankle injury, so Abdul Kareem Koulibaly gets the start instead.
Yeah, and what they're missing is a guy that can control the game defensively. And on the offensive end, he's a great passer. He's a low post presence. They are going to miss him today.
One of two active players with 1,000 career points, 850 rebounds, 275 block shots. You couldn't ask for anything. By the way, it is March. Happy March Madness, my friend.
I love it. You know, when it's March, you start to ramp up, and the energy in this building, I am ready to go.
Rams' last loss. They lost to Dayton here early in February. St. Bonaventure's last loss, beginning of February as well. Ace Baldwin has been outstanding for this team. They've needed him all year long. 5 on the shot clock for Jaden Nunn. They throw it away. Welch gives it right back. Could not find Jaron Holmes streaking towards the basket.
Well, the Bonnies play great defense, and what they're doing is they're going to keep their heels on the three-point line and make you beat them by shooting the three ball. And there's Mark Schmidt right here. We understand offensively he has a million plays, but on the defensive end, they are going to shop the screens, which that means double it sometimes, but they're also going to make VCU beat him from the outside.
Well, and he was very calm today for a guy who knows going into a game without one of his best players. Mike Rhodes, also an outstanding coach here, tournament a year ago. Just earned his 100th win. 4th VCU coach in history to do that. Shaka Smart has the school record. Well, he earned that with a 77-62 victory at UMass over the weekend.
It is, and when you talk about VCU, you talk about pressure, and they're going to play 10 guys who play. They've seen action in 24 games. They're going to play the entire roster.
Koulibaly on the drive. Great defensive play. Hason Ward. Turnovers already a problem for VCU. You know they like to cause it, but they give it away too often as well. And that was the big concern for Mike Rhodes today against an experienced St. Bonaventure team that has seen this pressure time and time again in their careers.
And I would say pace right now advantage VCU, even though the score, Jason, is 0-0. Ace has to get those guys an easy shot. They've had a couple, but they've been from the outside.
Edwin is their best three-point shooter. Instead, he throws it away. 3 turnovers already for VCU. Take a look at your keys to the game. Brought to you by Daisy Cottage Cheese.
Well, we understand the Bonnies, they only play limited players, and without Oshani, they definitely have to slow it down. Also, they have to take some threes. They don't take a lot, but they're going to have to make some threes. And I think on the VCU side, they're going to have to generate some offense. Their last outing, they couldn't score. Plus, they also have to control the glass, Jason, and they can go to the offensive glass because the Bonnies won't get it, and they don't want to get out and run. So they should crash 3 or 4 guys.
And conserving energy, too, when possible. For a team that is not deep and playing without Oshunii tonight, you wonder if that comes into effect when you're facing an up-tempo team like VCU.
Yeah, they have 4 guys that play a lot of minutes, and that's a beautiful pass by Vince Williams, and he is the key. He's a small ball forward that can create havoc. It'll be a great matchup between him and Jalen Attaway.
He averages 3 assists a game. 2.5 minutes gone by, a 2-0 VCU lead. Attaway left alone. The Bonnies have opened this game 0-4 from the floor, but they have 4 takeaways in less than 3 minutes.
Yeah, Ace, with a couple of turnovers. You don't want live ball turnovers. Just get your defense not set and off balance.
It's good to see if St. Bonaventure can get Jaron Holmes going. He's been struggling from the floor the last couple of games. They found Attaway, left it short. And we did not see him today at their shoot-around. He was sitting on the side, getting his legs under him, wasn't feeling great. He's going tonight and in the starting lineup, and immediately on the defensive end, VCU can't get anything towards the basket.
We talk about turnovers, and usually it's VCU forcing turnovers. A great job by Vince Williams, but right now the Rams are turning it over and turning it over. It's not a good sign. This is a beautiful pass by Vince Williams, getting it to Ward with an easy dunk.
Lace has those 2 turnovers. Jalen DeLoach checking in for the first time. The VCU freshman who was arrested last Thursday on a simple assault charge for an alleged incident near campus. And an assault charge has also been made against the student who accused him of the wrongdoing. The VCU has said Deloach remains available to play while that investigation continues, and through his lawyer, they adamantly deny all charges.
Another turnover for the Rams by Ace Baldwin. Uncharacteristic by Ace. Usually he's a guy that's steady. And at the beginning of this game, a little nerves, and he's turned it over 3 times.
Well, the volley picks up the foul. Situation with Deloach is in the hands of the university to let it all play out. So in this game, like he was against UMass, a 2-0 VCU lead as we approach the first media timeout.
That one down. They're going to need that.
Now, St. Bonaventure has been a second-half team all season long. But they're going to need to do something more than 0. 4-0, more than 4 minutes in. Well, VCU has held St. Bonaventure to an 0-6 start, but the Rams have 6 turnovers already in this game. Jason Horowitz, Steve Smith, Evan Washburn, happy to have you with us here in Richmond. All of that being said, it's a slow start. This game is enormous. Both these teams maybe a little bit on the outside looking in. They have tournament resumes they're working on. The A-10 standings. It's all you can ask for on March 1st.
Jason, that's what you're talking about. That's what you can ask for. And I think what you said is this game is so huge. And I think you see the jitters right now from both teams, especially the Bonnies. And you also see VCU, they're turning over the basketball. But I think both these teams are going to settle in.
Yeah, 6 is an enormous number so far. Let's get more. Send it over to Evan Washburn.
Well, Jason, good to be with you. You mentioned the Oshuni injury, and it's massive for St. Bonaventure, not just because of his impact on the game, but this is a team that starts 5 seniors that average 30-plus minutes per game. So you remove Oshuni from that mix, and the depth is tested. Head coach Mark Schmidt made the point to us saying, depth isn't an issue until you have injuries. They have injuries right now, and guys, they also have a stomach bug running through this team. Everyone's available, that's the good news, but how they can make it through this game, worth monitoring.
Well, and to that point, Evan, that's what we alluded to earlier with Jalen Attaway sitting out of shoot-around this morning. Quadri Adams as well did not go through the practice. So 2 of what would be their normal 7 guys that play in a game did not go through this morning. And so guys who do not play very often were running with the starters today, Steve.
Yeah, they were, and they got a chance to play. And Mark talked about it, that he had to go through some guys, and you can see they are all out of whack right now, 0 of 7.
But they have forced 7 turnovers, and Attaway up to Lofton. VCU is on pace for a ridiculous, maybe record-breaking number here tonight.
And if you're Coach Rhodes, you understand they were 0 of 7. You had a chance to make your mark and get a huge lead, but because of these turnovers, they are not getting shot attempts, and they are just up 2.
I know you challenged my math earlier in the day, but they are on pace for 56 turnovers. That math was right.
Yeah, your math early today was
dead wrong.
I don't know what was going on, but it's all right. It was pregame.
That's right. That's right.
Game time, now you're good.
Tough pass, Attaway saves it. A St. Bonaventure team that scores 71 a game. 7 straight wins. They control their own destiny for a double bye, and Lofton with back-to-back buckets.
I mean, the senior point guard, the 4-year captain, has started all 109 games played in his career. He understands how to play, and I love that he's being aggressive early, scoring the basketball.
He had 23 points in the Atlantic 10 championship game last year in the win against VCU. He had 6 assists in the win at St. Bonaventure back in January, a 20-point Bonnie's victory. Dominic Welch. And a lot of one and done right now. Baldwin thought about the 3, slipped out wide.
Vince is so good. That's a good contest. Vince Williams is a guy that puts pressure on you because at a 4, he's still one of those guys that has ball handling ability to put it on the floor and make plays.
And it was kicked. So it is going the other direction.
You can see the nice hands by Kyle Lofton getting out in transition. Williams tries to get it. That's an easy layup. But I love this next play. Moving without the basketball and understands he has to go to his left. That is beautiful basketball.
Steve, how much of VCU's 7 turnovers are VCU shooting itself in the foot? How much of it is St. Bonaventure defense?
Well, I think a couple of them has been the Bonnie's defense, but most of them have been unforced, especially Ace Baldwin at the beginning of this game. He was turning it over without any pressure, and that's not what you want to see.
He's got 3 turnovers. Ready a sub on the inside. Duro Sinmi is in the ball game. Was late to get over, and Baldwin had the clear path to the basket.
What I love by Ace Baldwin was that shot fake, and the reason why you had to go for it, he's shooting 46%. In his last 10, he's shooting 14 for 28. So that pump fake is like a nice move. Teams have to bite, and he got himself an easy layup.
Jaden Nunn takes it to the bucket. And now all of a sudden, you see Abdul Kareem Koulibaly on the bench. You see Oluwasegun Duro-Sinmi on the floor, and you see points in the paint.
Yeah, you do. I mean, these are guys that are not used to playing. As you can see, nobody rotated over. And you're Mark Smith, you have to be upset.
They call him Duro. He's lasking for the ball. Was a great junior college player. Instead, it's Attaway on the drive.
Attaway understands how to score. He's had some great games against VCU. Like we said earlier, 25 points in his last outing, and that is Ace Baldwin with knocking down to 46%.
And remember, he missed a good portion early in the season, the first 8 games, coming off Achilles surgery back in May, and it only took him 7 months to get back. Attaway can't find the answer. Steve, one of your keys, St. Bonaventure had to make some threes.
Yes.
They're 0-5.
And the reason why, when you miss threes, it's like adding to the fast break. You get a chance to get VCU. Once you miss these threes, they get out and run.
Kern on the take. Good defensive play. Bonnies have a 3-on-2. Welch smacked away by Williams.
If you're a Rams fan, you gotta love that play by Vince Williams. Huge.
None found Stockard. Rams pulling away. Timeout, St. Bonaventure. To the field. All but 2 of those. In 2005 is the last time the A-10 only had 1 bid. As of today, Jerry Palm on CBSSports.com has Davidson in the field, and they're comfortably in the field as of right now. VCU he has out. St. Bonaventure, St. Louis. Dayton got a big win at Richmond right before we came on the air, trying to build those resumes to make sure that's at least a 2-bid league.
Yeah, and you know the A-10 has been a fantastic conference, as you get a chance to see. I totally agree. Davidson, as of right now, is in, and Dayton, like you said, is a huge win. VCU and St. Bonaventure, that's why this game is huge. Like you said, you have to build your resume.
Now, as the teams were going to the sideline, there was a technical foul called not on Mark Schmidt, but on the bench. So 2 free throws here for VCU as well. In an environment that is loud, it's always hostile here in the Siegel Center. They're looking for a 300th win in this building tonight. But St. Bonaventure can't buy a shot.
No, they can't. I mean, if you look at it, they're 3 for 14, Jason, 0 for 5. And yes, they're down 17-6, but it should be more. 7 turnovers by the VCU Rams, because offensively they're playing great. They're 7 for 12, shooting the basketball fantastically.
Mark Schmidt said he wants his team to be aggressive against the press. Done that so far. Attaway cannot buy one either. He's 1 of 5 from the floor.
It is, and that was a beautiful play by Jaron Holmes. Broke down the defense, got 2 feet in the paint, collapsed the defense, and got Jalen Attaway a wide open 3. You got to knock those down.
Baldwin's got 7 points here in the first half. The dish to Josh Banks in for the first time. Stockard.
They post him up.
Great knocked away by Nick Kern. Baldwin. Put back. 3 times the charm. And VCU on a 9-0 run.
I mean, they keep coming at you with ways. Mikael Brown-Jones all over the rim. And these buckets that they're missing obviously is turning into easy, fast break opportunities.
In transition. If you're St. Bonaventure, do you want to slow this up?
Yeah, I think so. I think right now, even though you're 19-6, you're down 13, you've got to get a good look. Even if you don't make a basket, you want to run a play to maybe get yourself to the free throw line.
Just joining us, no Oshuni for St. Bonaventure. Their all-conference big out tonight. The left ankle injury he suffered at St. Joe's. Duro Sinmi gets the body, and Duro will go to the free throw line.
That gives you positive energy. That's great execution. The ball moved, and now they get a chance to get to the free throw line, catch their breath. And I think if they go small ball, Mark Schmidt talked about it, they might start playing matchup zone.
Remember, they started Abdul Kareem Koulibaly, the transfer from Pitt. It's not like Duro is a small guy. Normally is their third big at 6'9", 240. Played at Harcum Junior College last year. Averaged a double-double, but he just hasn't had many minutes this year.
Well, if you're a second-string guy, you don't get a lot of minutes. You said he's a third-string guy?
He's their third big.
Well, he really hasn't played a lot if you're playing right now this year for Mark Schmidt.
And it is VCU basketball. Now Quadri Adams checking in for the first time as well. And we talked about Jalen Attaway not participating in practice today either. Adams missed it as well as the stomach bug that Evan Washburn reported on was going through this team. Both of them received IVs in the game here tonight. Down by 13. More than 10 minutes gone by in the first half.
And they are very small right now. They're going to a switch of defense, kind of a matchup man-to-man. But there's no resistance and nothing you can do if Ace is going that way. He is whirling and dirling to the cup.
More than 3 minutes without a bucket. 15-2 VCU run. Someone's got to put one in. Will it be Holmes? No, but he's fouled on the shot. The one thing when everything's going well you can't do, and Hason Ward hit a three-point shooter.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You just want to contest. Momentum is in your favor. Makes this one, that's fine. Just contest. And yes, he did. Hit him on the arm. Now you get a chance to get to the free throw line. And shooters and teams, they just want to see the ball go through.
Now, Holmes is only a 26% three-point shooter. And he's been struggling mightily in the month of February from beyond the arc. But he is a 77% free throw shooter.
Yeah, he is. And he's one of those guys that's fourth in the 18 and free throws, 18 and free throws made and attempted. So you don't want him to get to the line and get his confidence. I like Holmes. He's one of those guys that's rugged. And obviously he's been shooting from three. He's been in a slump, but you can tell he understands the game of basketball, and I think he'll come out of it just because his stroke looks pretty.
Second team all-conference last year, hit 2 of the 3. Snapped an 11-0 VCU run with the pair of free throws. They're going to play off Banks. Baldwin's been the offense so far, 9 here in the first half. Stripped away again. Beautiful play, Kyle Lofton.
Well, you can see Mark Schmidt is saying right now is we don't have our big end. So right now we're going to try to play small ball to get some offense. We're playing more defense than offense, and we're going to scrap to scrap. And I think if you're VCU, if you're big, you got to take your time down there. You have 4 or 5 inches. And you definitely got to take advantage of your size down on the block.
Well, when you talk about all the minutes played, and you reference what Mark Schmidt told us today in practice, and that depth isn't an issue until it becomes an issue. And today without Oshuni, it's an issue. But you were talking in those first 4 guys at over 37 minutes a game. Numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the Atlantic 10 in terms of minutes played. And right now they're getting eaten alive in the paint. Hason Ward off the dump down.
That was a beautiful catch and finish, but Ace Baldwin, as great point guards do, looked off the entire defense and basically threw him into the rim with a pass. We call that leading. And one more for the Rams. They are excited right now.
Timeout taken again. VCU. But they kind of has a resume that might be on the outside looking in right now. And maybe they'll have to win the tournament again this year on CBS to get the automatic bid when they're healthy. Let's go over to Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, listening into that Mark Schmidt huddle, the whiteboard was getting a workout, fellas. And the top priority, rim protection. And look, we've talked a lot about Oshuni being out of this game. He's an elite rim protector, so guys are a bit out of their roles, if you will, but he's trying to prioritize that has to be where defensively things start at the rim. Too many easy buckets in the paint for VCU.
Well, and Evan, to that point, Mike Rhodes, VCU's head coach Steve, told us today that he thought Oshuni is the most impactful player in the Atlantic 10.
Yeah, he is. He said he is one of those guys that can change the game defensively, but he said also offensively does so much, all the little things, and you can see right now. But the glaring, like Evan said, that we're watching right now is points in the paint, and it's becoming easy for the Rams, right on point.
KeShawn Curry on the receiving end from Ward. Lofton, the dump down, and finally an easy bucket. Coulibaly back on the bench, off the floor. On the floor, off the bench. Nunn drives at the rim, and it's knocked out of bounds by Lofton.
Well, let's watch right here. You get a chance to see. He comes off, and the one thing I love about him is just watch him right here go to the rim. And really, with the 43-inch vertical, I should have made that arrow go way up because 43-inch vertical, I didn't give him enough credit going higher.
Well, he's been outstanding the last month or so. Been shooting 59% the last 7 games. Vince Williams has been good all year, and they're up 20 here with 6:45 to go in the half.
I can tell right now just the missed baskets to start off this game has got them all out of whack.
Offensive rebound for Coulibaly. That's their first offensive rebound of the ball game, but it leads to a VCU run out. Curry takes it inside, and he's hit from behind. And KeShawn Curry will go to the free throw line.
Well, let's watch Vince, and obviously we talked about rim protection. Well, they kick it out right here, and no one guarding Vince Williams. You can't do that. Communication is off. Everything is off for the Bonnies right now, and defensively, great job by Ward with the block shot.
Well, the foul was called on Abdul Kareem Coulibaly, so that is his second. So the interior presence who started the game, now with 6:23 to go, has 2 and will stay on the floor. Oshuni can only look on, and the reality for Mark Schmidt is you got to hope he's healthy next week when you go to Washington, D.C. for the A-10 tournament.
You totally. You can see the frustration from the young man sitting on the bench. He definitely wants to be out there to help his teammates, and they're missing so much with him. The 11 points, close to 8 rebounds, the 3 block shots, and when he catches it, he shoots 60% from the field. He just does so much for them. Yes, they have some experience and some leadership, but right now they're rattled.
Running all kinds of motion. Holmes with 5 on the shot clock. Welch with 2 on the timer. Rolled out. Got it back and was fouled. 22-point lead. Back over to Evan.
Guys, spoke to Oshuni briefly in pregame, and I asked him how he was feeling, number one. He said much better. I mean, if you see that injury that he suffered against St. Joe's on Saturday, it was pretty gruesome with that left ankle. Again, said he's feeling better. I asked him about this weekend. He said he wasn't sure, but obviously there's optimism for that A-10 tournament.
Yeah, this weekend is coming up on Friday. They will have Richmond back at home to finish out their regular season. And we watched practice today, and he took part in the beginning part of practice and then went after about 20 minutes to get some treatment.
Yeah, he kind of walked around, went through and kind of listened to the scouting report, didn't do anything hard. But like you said, about halfway through, walked back and got some treatment. As you can see in street clothes, that tells you he's not playing. And, you know, for St. Bonnie's and the Bonaventure fans, he is missed, surely missed, and you hate to see this at the end of the season.
Both these teams into this game on a 7-game winning streak.
Well, if you're the Bonnies right now, is you can't play the score. I know you're down 20. You got to play possessions. You got to try to get we always talked about get 2 stops in the bucket. 2 stops in the bucket. If you can do that and get yourself back in this game, hopefully you can just get some confidence. It's not about the score right now to be able to come out in this second half.
Another opportunity for Baldwin spinning in the lane. The breakout for St. Bonaventure. The dump down. Great lay-in. They'll count that for Kyle Lofton. Well, the reality for St. Bonaventure, they've had some looks in the half court, but their points have all come in transition.
It has. I mean, in the half court, to your point, Jason, they have struggled. They've gotten some open shots, some good looks, but they haven't made it. These layups and fast break points has definitely helped them.
Is there a number in your head that you need to have it or would like to have at the half?
I really wouldn't say a number. I mean, obviously, you love to get this to 10. But you can't give up point-blank dunks in the paint in half court.
VCU, like they did at UMass, where all 11 players who played getting contributions from everyone. The kick out in the corner, another open look, and another miss from 3. 0 of 8 from beyond the arc. It leads to the run out. Curry with the athleticism.
You know, they have to make some of these threes. You can see these missed threes, long rebounds. It's just helping VCU to get out and run and get some easy buckets.
Well, and they've had good looks. Koulibaly takes it out. Another open shot. Lofton gave it up. Made it a lot harder. Koulibaly, the putback.
Koulibaly has played well. I mean, he's gotten into foul trouble, but what I like is he's been active.
He is playing with the 2 fouls. Couple of rebounds on the offensive end. Williams, a no-look pass, and it was knocked away. Transition again. Holmes out to Welch for 3. Finally, they get one to go.
They needed that one. That was beautiful defense. We could have gave up an easy dunk, but they come out and get a 3. So that's +5 on that possession.
Well, the experience factor certainly on the St. Bonaventure side, but Koulibaly just picked up his 3rd. That's a big deal. We're here.
Selection Sunday. I can't wait. But I tell you right now, we're here right now, and the Rams are rolling. They are helping their resume right now in this first half.
Well, and you're going to have the NCAA tournament where you'll find out. VCU, remember, was supposed to be in the NCAA tournament last year. They were selected to be in the NCAA tournament. But unfortunately, in the bubble in Indianapolis, positive tests kept them from playing Oregon, which advanced the Ducks to the second round. And that was a game you were supposed to call, correct?
No, I was there. I don't know if I ever had that game or not because there was so much going on. But I was looking forward to watching this team play. They were playing at a high level. Definitely a high level.
Well, they're looking like a tournament team here in the half. Have led in this ball game by as many as 22. Williams picks it off. They're out and running again. And what a save. Lofton kept that in bounds.
Yes, indeed. I love that he got back. To be able to get in that play, he did not quit on the play, turned it over.
Bonnie's trying to chip away. It's Holmes in the corner. And back-to-back 3s for St. Bonaventure.
Doing a good job of closing out this half. They're down 14. You can see Lofton is clapping. They're getting their confidence back. This is a huge possession for the Bonnies and the Rams. They get a stop right now. If you're the Bonnies and score, you are right back into this ball game.
Knocked out of bounds. It is St. Bonaventure basketball. Well, coming up on AT&T at the half, we'll go back in the studio. Lindsey Zarniak and company will preview all the games coming up tonight, including a top 25 matchup in the Pac-12 Key games going on right now, including Purdue and Wisconsin. It's all coming up at the half. Points in the paint. St. Bonaventure has been so good this year. And yes, we've talked about Oshuni. He's a huge part of that. But their guards, Steve, getting the paint in a big way just like that.
They do. And Williams is a guy that's definitely protecting the rim. He is so athletic. It is beautiful to watch. KeShawn Curry is poetry in motion in the air.
Well, you said that was a huge possession. They got the stop they needed. They got it under the offensive end, but it was forced. And a foul is called on VCU. It is on Vince Williams.
Well, watch this play by Vince Williams. Gets the block, recovers the basketball, beautiful pass. And he understands that I am one of those guys that there's not too many people in the country can jump with me. So he can take off early, Jason, and then just float and finish.
Well, and he is their leading scorer, but he's got 5 rebounds. He also has 4 assists here in the first half. Holmes had it stripped. Curry again, on the move.
KeShawn Curry runs, jumps with ease, makes it look easy. I am jealous watching this young man fly.
And a foul called on VCU. It's on Ward, but in transition, he's unstoppable.
Look at this. Easy buckets. And if you're the Bonnies, you had this momentum. You had to score down to 14 with the ball. Could have cut it to 12 or 11. And then, unfortunately, a missed shot and no transition defense. And you look at the scores right back up to 18.
Well, and they've gotten so many looks at the rim. I mean, it seems like every other trip down the floor, it's a dunk. That's a great inbounds pass. Dominic Welch on the receiving end.
Yeah, if you're the Bonnies, I mean, you've missed some layups and you've had a couple threes that are wide open.
Knocked off of none. It's back to St. Bonaventure.
Fans are not liking this. And if you're Coach Rhodes, and yes, you have a huge lead, but the turnovers, 11 of them. Yeah. That's a lot and a half for the VCU Rams.
Now remember, 7 of those happened in the first 5 minutes. And they had a 4-0 lead. Welch for 3. Buries it. Dominic Welch down the stretch, giving the Bonnies a lift.
And they're back in their matchup zone right now. 40-27. Great job by the Rams of understanding the clock. You want to get this last shot.
Well, to your point, you get a stop. You feel a little bit better, down 13. Baldwin fires the triple off the heel. Bonnie's with it. It's good if it goes. VCU out and running in the first half, but St. Bonaventure chipped away a little bit. What was a 22-point lead. The Rams will go to the locker room up 13.
Yeah, they're down 13 to Bonnies, but you have to be happy. This could have been definitely a 20-point lead for the Rams. And if you're the Rams, you blew an opportunity. Still could be 13, but you didn't get opportunities because of all these turnovers.
All right, let's go down to Evan.
Mike, let's start positive. 13-point lead. What led to the efficiency offensively?
We just guarded. We guarded and we got out. When we didn't turn the ball over, we got a shot at the basket every time. We had 6 turnovers before the first media timeout. We don't turn the ball over and we get a shot, we have a chance. Defense created some offense for us and got us going.
What concerns you with the type of turnovers you had in that first half?
Well, you can't defend when you throw it to the other team. They come down here and score without any defense or get wide open threes. We can't turn it over, and we set our defense. We're pretty good.
Thanks, Mike.
Doing this thing, and here he is again, buying him again from up top, cutting it to 2. Caleb Daniels, New Orleans native, gets to the lane with the 2-foot pull-up. He had 20. That's a season off the bench. And the Wildcats bring out the broom, Gary. It's a sweep. It's a sweep.
All right, we got a sweep. We also got this update for you here. Duke playing right now. Second half, take a look at that. 74-47, and the final is the Wildcats beat Ole Miss 83-72. All right, so where are we going?
I'm going to be nice. Listen, Ed Cooley, we're going to give him
Don't
congratulations.
Be nice. It's more fun when you're
No. Again, the coach side comes out. I'm going to turn off the TV side. Great job by them getting it done. But again, Villanova, what can you say about what they've done when Jay Wright has done? Swept them. But again, let's look for great. We're in New York right now. Madison Square Garden is going to be popping, but I'm telling you right now, there are a lot of teams that can win the Big East tournament.
Yes, Villanova is looking unbelievable right now. 5 turnovers. I look for that in championship teams. Gillespie's playing well. I always trust him. Then they're making their free throws late in games. A lot of times in March, that's what it comes down to. But Villanova's getting it done.
And you know they got the confidence, right?
No question. You know, for Providence, as we talked about earlier in the night, there was a path to a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, but it involved them winning this game. That they lost it, they're probably playing for a 2 seed at best right now.
All right, that's it for us. We'll be back. Second half, St. Bonnie's and VCU next.
Thank you for watching AT&T at the Half.
5-Hour Energy, because it's time to hit the gym and work up a sweat. And you're going to need some energy, lots of energy. 5-Hour Energy for every workout.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
The all-new highest-rated Tempur-Pedics ever. The #1 mattress sale at Virginia's #1 mattress store. Big Saturday for every Tempur-Pedic at Hanes. Pressure-relieving, body-cooling, deeper, life-changing sleep. The all-new Tempur-Pedic. Honored by Sleepers and Space Technology's Hall of Fame. Hanes Big Saturday. More affordable than ever. Free financing, free delivery, setup, and removal. And your big new big screen is free. Only this day. Big Saturday for every Tempur-Pedic. Big screens for free. Only at Hanes.
I'm not ready to lose my hair. Not now. But I never thought there was a real solution. Now I use Keeps. Keeps is the easiest way to keep my hair. Look, there's no magic cure for baldness. But by starting Keeps now, I can keep the hair I have and get my treatment without leaving the couch. Get Keeps, the easiest way to keep your hair. Go to Keeps.com to learn more.
You've made some upgrades to make home feel more like home. Upgraded how you work, how you play, how you movie night. Verizon Fios Gigabit Connection powers tons of devices at once and is our fastest internet available. Upgrade all your upgrades. Get whole home Wi-Fi with Gigabit Connection at Verizon.com/myverizon.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by PNC Bank. See how we can make a difference. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
40-27, VCU, the lead over St. Bonaventure. Start of the second half. Chase Norwitz, NBA All-Star Steve Smith, Evan Washburn back with us in just a moment. Steve, VCU had a 22-point lead, but as Mike Rhodes told Evan going to the locker room, I don't feel great about being just up 13 because they controlled the first half.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're Mike Rhodes, you're looking at all the turnovers they had. I mean, even though you're up 13, you're usually happy. But they had so many unforced turnovers, they could have definitely had a huge, bigger lead.
Yeah, game summary brought to you by AT&T 5G. The points in the paint completely one-sided. The rebounds completely one-sided again. No Oshuni tonight for St. Bonaventure. Out with an ankle injury. Dominic Welch had 8 of his 10 in the final 3.5. But the story of the first half, particularly the first 15 minutes, was inside the paint.
Yeah, it is. I mean, when you look at points in the paint, and obviously give a lot of credit to the VCU Rams, but the defense for the Bonnies was not great. But what I really want to talk about the passes that led to these easy points in the paint. They did a nice job in the half court, and then in transition, we see Curry was all over. What I love is they had 12 assists on 17 made
Let's
field
send it
goals.
over to Evan.
Well, guys, Mark Schmidt addressed the fact that they've got to be better defending the rim. That's been a theme the entire first half, and Oshuni's not coming back in this game. But he also pointed to the fact that they have to be better in transition defensively. That led to a lot of easy buckets for VCU. Better on the glass as well. Offensively, and he made this point in the huddle throughout that first half, they're getting the looks they'd like. They've just got to hit them. This is where experience and having an older team can come into play in the second half. They're just going to keep putting it up.
Well, and Evan, they started 0 of 8 from 3. The Bonnies hit their final 3 from beyond the arc. So we'll see if that carries over here to the start of the second half. Jalen Attaway working on Vince Williams. Almost poked it away. Welch with 3 on the shot clock. Got it off. It hit the rim, and it was knocked out of bounds by VCU. So they get bailed out there, and this is what we talked about in the first half. This is a team that has been very good in close games. They have not always had great first half, Steve, but the second half has been a completely different story.
Yeah, I think because of the seniors and the experience. They basically play with 4 guards that are seniors that understand how to make plays and make adjustments. But the easy buckets they have missed in the first half and to start off this second half, you can see Mark just a little disappointing, but that was a beautiful play for an easy bucket that they should have had.
And Kyle Lofton with an absolute bullet of a pass. Abdul Kareem Koulibaly on the floor to start the second half. He picked up his 3rd foul late in the first half. Baldwin had 9 in the first half. Couldn't find Ward. Lofton tracks it down. Kyle Lofton in this ball game has 5 steals. Koulibaly takes it to the rim. It's blocked by Ward.
What a play by Ward. That looked like an easy dunk, and he erased that one.
Jaden Nunn hit on the follow through, and it's on Koulibaly, and that is his 4th.
Watch this play. He thought he had an easy one, but look at the effort. Might have got him on his arm, but they're going to give him a block shot.
All ball.
That angle looked different. Loved it.
So Koulibaly has 4 fouls. Hason Ward has 4 blocked shots on the other end.
Totally different ball games both these guys are playing.
Well, you always wonder about injuries, and you never know. And you and I were here in this building about a month ago. The last time that VCU lost, Dayton came into the Siegel Center and won by 30. They're playing tonight without Oshuni. Remember, VCU played that game without Vince Williams.
Yeah, you can see just threw off the rhythm. And today, the Bonnies are struggling right now, but you still feel like the Bonnies, if they can get a couple buckets to go down, they can get right back into this ball game.
Duro send me back on the floor. The 3 from Holmes.
I mean, that's in and out. That's a good look.
Curry drives through the lane, and he is fouled.
Offensive execution, offensive spacing has been beautiful for the Rams. I love Curry, how he plays without the basketball. Those hard cuts have been hard for the defense, for the Bonnies to get set, to be able to collect him at the rim.
The senior from Jacksonville, until this year, never more than 5.5 points a game. He has upped that this year to 10.5, and especially down the stretch. And remember, for both these teams, into this ball game on a 7-game winning streak. A pair of teams trying to build NCAA tournament resumes. Jerry Palm today has VCU as one of the first 4 out. And St. Bonaventure, if you go back to earlier this season, the preseason pick to win the league, with all of that experience back from the team that played LSU in the NCAA tournament last year. They had some big wins, Boise State and Marquette. They might need to get a little bit healthy and go a little bit farther next week.
And the momentum was there. They had won their last 7 games, just like VCU. But unfortunately, injuries and the Rams with these turnovers and being able to convert has been tough for the Bonnies.
Nunn was waiting and drilled the 3. Well, it felt coming out of the locker room that was on St. Bonaventure's side. Attaway, the tough bucket, because they finished the half on a 13-4 run. Nunn steps into another and hits again.
Well, you know, if he gets going, Jay Nunn, he's just a freshman, but he has a lot of confidence, played extremely well when Ace was out earlier in the season, and I think that is going to help him down the stretch of trying to close out this season for him as a freshman.
Got 9 tonight. Great take on the inside. Jaron Holmes drives to the bucket and an opportunity for 3. But somebody's going to have to stop Jaden Nunn on the other end.
As you can see, 2-on-1. Fumbled, but kicks it out. Good pass by Williams and a wide open. Love that he stayed with that shot and followed through. And the same thing, he has a great stroke for a freshman.
When you saw some of those games there in the Bahamas, you said before we talked today with Mike Rhodes just how impressed you were with how he played early in his season, thrust into a spot that when they recruited him, they didn't know that they'd have to do that. But then when Ace Baldwin tore his Achilles, he was put into the point guard spot.
Jason, I'm glad you brought that up. He's more of a combo guard. And you just think about that tournament down in the Bahamas. I think their first game was Baylor. Second game.
Hi, Vince.
Vince came over here. Second game was UConn. And you talk about a freshman thrown right into the fire. You know what I loved about you, Jason? You didn't even flinch.
No, not at all. Well, you know what it was? It was the water he was going to knock over.
Oh,
you and I are having a nice conversation, and the audience is joining us, and he's rudely interrupting our conversation.
You were scared of the water?
Well, I didn't want to ruin the equipment, you know. All 160 pounds of me. I had you saved, Steve Smith.
160, that's it?
That's it? Well, the water might have added a couple. Ball went off the heel. Immediate timeout on the next whistle. St. Bonaventure trying to get back-to-back possession with buckets. Attaway on the drive, fouled, and he will be at the free throw line when we come back. VCU has extended the halftime lead from 13 to 18.
What I like for him is he's one of those guards that stays on balance. Defensively, we know he can get steals. Doesn't have any tonight, but he's had a solid game. Doesn't feel like a freshman to me. Feels like a senior where he plays the game.
With more on Ace Baldwin, let's go over to Evan Washburn.
Well, you touched on it. I mean, injury, but specifically a torn Achilles in May, guys, and to be back in December of the same year is unheard of. I mean, it's a testament to everyone you speak with the program, the work that he put in, but just the ability to not just be back, but to be back and be a difference maker at this point with that severe of an injury. Again, unheard of.
Well, Steve, you and Evan were both college athletes. Steve, if I would have told you in the 90s, Evan, if I would have told you in the early 2000s, you're going to tear your Achilles and you're going to be back playing as better than ever 7 months later, you would have said what?
I would have said no. I'm with Evan. This is unheard of even now. In 2022, 2021, what happened for him. I mean, that's just unheard of for him to be back and playing at this level. And definitely in the 90s when I played, you're definitely out a year.
Or 3. Looked like it was kicked. Nothing was called. 2 on the shot clock. Extra pass. Deloach finished at the rim. The patience and the poise for VCU's offense.
VCU right now, even though they're up a lot, they're not playing the score. Defensively and offensively, they're executing. Other than the turnovers in the first half, let's watch the patience. As you can see, Ace gets the basketball to Curry. That's a beautiful pass to be able to get an easy bucket by Deloach. It's unselfish basketball. Curry could have easily took that short jumper in the paint.
Well, they have 14 assists on their 20 made buckets. Lofton's done that his entire career.
Yeah, and beautiful play. Watching them in practice, they have a million plays. And you and Evan was watching. I mean, that card of all the plays that Mark Schmidt had is unbelievable. He's reading it right now. Had about 80 plays on there, and that was one of them that he got a chance to show us.
And remember, all of these guys have been running these plays for 2 and 3 years, some of them 4. Baldwin way off the mark. Attaway with the foot on the gas. The drive to the bucket. Back-to-back hoops. It's back to 15.
They won't quit. The Browns will not quit.
Plenty of time to go in this game. 14 and change. VCU's largest lead was 12. Turnovers have been a problem. Attaway, clean block. Baldwin chased him down and threw it into the student section.
Let's watch this play, Jason. Turned over, not by Ace, but look at the hustle Jalen Attaway had about 3 steps in front of Ace Baldwin. He got a chance to catch this one. Ace got that one, but I can see the Bonnie staff, they're upset. They thought that was a foul.
What Achilles injury. Lofton on the drive. Pull up short. Mikael Brown-Jones on the floor with the board. One of the things that VCU has done tonight in spurts, they've gone long chunks without turnovers. When they've done that, they've extended the lead closer to 18, 20 points.
But they have. I mean, Ace has great vision. He is looking off the defenders, getting guys some easy buckets. That play, you would have thought nowhere to go. He makes this pass. And they're starting to get to that free throw line, which is making it hard for the Bonnies right now. They need this basketball game to go up and down and get some easy buckets, 3 or 4 in a row to kind of get back in this game.
Mikael Brown-Jones at the free throw line, averaged 11 points a game in his last 3 games.
Watching this team, Jason, VCU they have good guard play, they have great wings, but they have good size. They have good size, and when you start looking at this entire lineup, 6'8" Mikael Brown-Jones. You look at Stockton, he's 6'8", 240. Ward is 6'9". They have some good size.
Well, the other part, not that this matters anymore. Back in the day, it was part of the team sheet. How'd you finish in the last 10, last 12? It doesn't matter anymore. The committee doesn't take that into account. And eye test isn't listed anywhere either. But the last month, without question, VCU has looked the part of an NCAA tournament team.
Yes, they have. And unfortunately for the Bonnies right now, this game, they are not looking good. And unfortunately for them, the injury to Shawnee has definitely hurt them. VCU has looked great. I mean, the way they played, and they don't lose here at home.
Another loose ball, scooped up. Lofton pushes it to Welch. He's going to find the hot hand. It was Welch at the end of the first half.
That's a beautiful closeout by Williams. Just excellent defense.
Double came, Attaway just can't get it going tonight. Offensive board, Williams might have got a piece of it. He has affected this game without scoring in so many different ways.
You hit it right on the head. He has done so much for the Rams. They miss him. When he's out of the lineup, it's a totally different ball game.
He only has 5 points, but it feels like Vince Williams is one of the 2 or 3 MVPs of the game. That's not a good pass.
No, no, not at all. And both guys didn't even want to look at each other.
Well, this is what we were talking about, though, and Jerry Palm today has them as one of the first 4 out. Now, St. Bonaventure's net into the day is 79, so this is not a quad 1 win. It may be a quad 2 win. We'll see where the year ends up for VCU because this game is being played at home. But 8 straight wins with 1 more to go, and they will play at St. Louis to finish the season. Trying to get into that field yet again. Lofton, 3 of 15 from beyond the arc on one of the keys for Steve Smith. Take them, but make them.
Yeah, they needed to take because they were going to get open threes the way the VCU defense has played, and they got a lot of them, but they got to make some of them.
Foul is going. Well, back in Richmond, the call on the floor was a foul on Mikael Brown-Jones, a VCU foul. Now, they are looking at the monitor right now for a hook and hold. Something that we saw a couple of years ago, not as much this year, but this definitely looks like the category of a hook and hold, and it would be a flagrant there on St. Bonaventure.
It does right there. As you get a chance to see Holmes, looks like he hooks and holds Mikael Brown-Jones. And you can see referee Teddy Valentine and his crew are looking at it right now. But I think for sure it is.
So we will see what they come up with here. But, I mean, again, the emphasis was put in a couple years ago to prevent dangerous plays on the hook and hold. You haven't seen it as much the last couple of years, but This almost looks exactly like the reason they put those in.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, great for Brown that he didn't get up extended too high and nothing happened. Yes, Holmes released at the end, but I think at the initial, you definitely can see a hook and hold. And obviously this is a bigger body. You're trying to box out. It's definitely tough, but you can't do that. And right here, yes, you see the hook and hold, but he does release at a time he didn't hold it for an extended period of time.
Well, unlike so many things in the college game, the effort has been there to try and eliminate some dangerous plays that have happened. So they will get that figured out. They will come over and give the explanation on this end. But it right now is a 17-point lead. As he is Ted Valentine, who has been around this game a long time. In fact, he was officiating Steve Smith games back in the early 90s.
Woo! That's a long time, for sure. And Teddy still looks good.
Well, he dropped a lot of weight a few years ago, and as we were talking to him before the game about keeping it off, so he's going to come over and give Steve the explanation here. So we are getting a hook and hold on Jaron Holmes. So exactly what we talked about. So you will get the hook and hold here. So free throws coming for VCU. So the flagrant, which is the hook and hold. So they'll back off the line. It'll be 2 free throws for VCU. And then it'll restart.
And they're trying to explain to Holmes. And it was definitely the correct call.
And so that also then goes as a personal foul as well. So that is his first. Now Brown Jones missed them both. So in that regard, no harm, no foul. But remember, because of the hook and hold and the flagrant, it is also VCU basketball. So the 2 shots and the ball instead of going back to St. Bonaventure. Steve, I have done a lot of games this year, and 3 years ago you saw a lot of those calls particularly early.
Yeah,
that is the first one I've done this year. Brown Jones at the rim. Second chance points is good. Lead back to 19.
Well, he made up for it. He missed both those free throws. Got a chance to get on the offensive glass and get a putback. And as you can see, like you said, the lead is up to 19.
Attaway, strong take. Man at the rim and a clean block again.
How impressive has Ward been without fouling these block shots? And Jalen Attaway, bad intentions, but it is wiped away by Ward. That's just great timing, but the beauty to be able to block a shot without fouling.
Hason Ward has tied a career high with 5 blocks. Now the pause here is for KeShawn Curry, who is having a hard time with his right leg.
What I can tell you about Ward, the previous 3 games he had 10 points and 8 rebounds, but the 3 before that he had 36 points, 26 rebounds, and 5 block shots. So he's been going in waves on being great or just being good.
Well, and Mike Rhodes told us that a month ago about Hason Ward, is trying to keep him at a consistent energy level because he is so important to this club. Attaway. Now the concern too on the other side, KeShawn Curry trying to adjust his sneaker. Somehow not to go.
And look at the crowd stand up, and we almost tackled each other on that play. I didn't think he had a chance to make that one.
Great dump down for the answer. Not quite the same highlight level as Ace Baldwin. He had no space to get through.
Not at all, and basically shot that one from the other side of the rim.
Ward leaves it for Williams. And it's everything at the rim like it was in the first half.
59-38.
Lofton used his arm, then threw it out of bounds. This is something you want to watch over and over again.
Look which side of the rim he's on, where he takes off from in the English to spin it, and his teammates is loving that to avoid the contact. This kid has been playing basketball for a long time. You can't teach that, Jason. You got to already have that in your bag. You have that in your bag?
Yes. Yeah, I'll show you right after the game. We'll tape it. We'll put it on Inside College Basketball. We'll show it right around 11 o'clock.
Good pass.
Williams couldn't finish. But a foul called on St. Bonaventure. It is on Jalen Attaway, his second. Do you?
No, I don't have that in my bag anymore. My bag is zipped up and closed.
What's impressed you most tonight about VCU?
Well, I think for them is they didn't get rattled when they turned the basketball over. Obviously, taking advantage of, not having a rim protector from the bodies. But I think also more importantly for them, they're executing. And usually when you have a team, a young team, a lot of young players, they get up a lot and then everybody wants to try to get their stats. They are staying locked in and executing and still being unselfish.
Yeah. In that first half, KeShawn Curry was great. He's over on the bench right now, and Evans right over there.
He seemed to do something to that right ankle, that right foot. The good news is, though, no extra tape job. He went into the tunnel, got some runs in to try and walk it off. Still walking with a little bit of a hitch in his gait, but he looks available to get back in this game.
He's sitting on the edge of the bench there. Closest to Mike Rose trying to check in, Kyle Lofton. And that's block number 6. Lofton stayed with it, but Hason Ward has been all over the defensive end.
I mean, he has been active. But what has helped them is their initial defense.
That's an offensive foul on Baldwin. Let's go back to that injury on KeShawn Curry. Remember, this was the block on Attaway. And Curry just steps on the foot of Duro Sydney.
Yeah, you hate those type. Looks like he's okay though. He's grabbing it, keeping it moving, trying to keep it loose.
Holmes splits the defense all the way to the bucket.
That's a strong move. Through traffic. All 5 defenders, eyes on you, and you still get a layup.
Now there are 4 usual starters without Oshuni. Have all been right around balanced attack. 4 different players in that 9 to 10 range for St. Bonaventure, but the defense just hasn't been there tonight.
They haven't been there, and it's hard. I mean, you can see Curry back in the game right now. It's great to see that. Their defense has just been out of whack. They're used to having their rim protector. But I think more importantly, their offense, they have not been able to make shots. And they've got some easy, wide open threes and some chances right at the basket, point blank, they've missed.
Well, you played with Dikembe Mutombo, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he missed a few games, what was it like?
Life was very hard for me. Because defensively, if you made a mistake, he cleaned it up. And then good defense gives you balance on offense because you can get some stops and get your rhythm back because you know you had a guy back there that can clean up your mistakes.
Yeah, Hason Ward up. And Ace Baldwin is losing his mind. Bonaventure came into this game on a 7-game winning streak as well. There's a lot to like about what they have on their resume in terms of early wins. Boise State, Marquette in January, a 20-point win over this VCU team. But a lot was done also, Steve, in quad 4.
Yes.
And Mark Schmidt, talking to him today, he wasn't talking about this being a must-win game because of an NCAA tournament at large, and he knew that the chance of Oshuni playing was slim with the ankle injury, so all of that. He was very calm and relaxed about his team in here because his thinking about, frankly, it sounded like he was thinking about winning the A-10 tournament to get into the NCAA tournament.
Well, he understood without that young fella, it was going to be tough tonight to get a win. And obviously you come out here and play the game and doesn't look good for them now. But I think he's still confident. The way he was talking to us is, you know, win or lose this game, I still feel we have a team that can go on a run.
Lofton threw that one out of bounds. Uncharacteristic turnover from one of the great point guards in the country. He does have 5 assists, but he does have 5 turnovers as well. And look, this is a league, and we highlighted this in the first half. They have not been a one-bid league since 2005. And Jerry Palm has Davidson in. Most around the country have Davidson in with their team, even if they want to win the A-10 tournament. The question is, will VCU or St. Bonaventure or Dayton be an at-large squad if they don't win the tournament?
Everything's going wrong for the Bonnies, Jason. That's a 2-on-1 point-blank layup. Tired legs for me is what I see from the Bonnies.
That's what's caused the missed shot?
Yeah, I mean, that layup right there just shows you right there that they definitely, confidence is not there, and I think also a little bit of fatigue is hurting them.
Deloach is called for the offensive foul. That's the 6th on VCU, and this is what we're talking about. I mean, you go back to the 2014 NCAA tournament when the Atlantic 10 had 6 teams make the dance. Now, again, the league has changed, and it's going to change again next year with Loyola coming into this league. And so you're adding another great basketball program that is at its height right now. But this has not been a one-bid league.
No, it hasn't. I mean, for years. And it's, you know, definitely still have a chance. I mean, VCU would have win today gives themselves an edge on their resume. I mean, they have a chance for sure.
Well, and the other part to all of this, too, with a win tonight, and again, there's still 6:25 to go, but they are up by 19. A win tonight does put the pressure on Davidson. And remember, the Wildcats will finish the season this weekend at Dayton. Right, and Dayton earlier tonight here on CBS Sports Network got a last-second bucket to win in this city at Richmond to keep their title hopes alive. Now, they do need Davidson to lose. The loss at LaSalle this weekend hurt Dayton, certainly. But VCU, if Davidson were to lose that game this weekend at Dayton, VCU already has the double bye, and VCU's in a good spot there to win another A-10 title.
Yeah, they are. And they're putting themselves in position. Huge performance tonight. Obviously, there's 6 minutes still left for the Bonnies, but you can just tell that they're in control of this one right now.
Like to finish it off if you're Mike Rhodes. A game that they have played so well, particularly on the defensive end.
Well, I think right now Mike Rhodes understands is that we're going to take some time off. We're not going to have quick shots.
Another turnover. And a foul called on the Rams. That is on Curry. And so that'll send St. Bonaventure to the free throw line.
Well, you can see Curry was trying to go before he had the basketball, and then you commit a foul. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want the clock to stop.
And St. Bonaventure is a very good free throw shooting team, 76% as a group. Jalen Attaway is an 82% free throw shooter, and he's got a 1-and-1 coming up.
I mean, for the Bonnies, what they have to do right now, Jason, is some kind of way get this to a 10-point game with about 3 minutes left.
Now, turnover's the problem for this team. And you have seen this tonight. We saw it in the first 5 minutes, Steve. They had 7 turnovers in the first 5 minutes. Then they had 1 turnover for the next 11 minutes, and they built a 22-point lead. Then they turned it over 3 times before halftime, and it was a 13-point game at the break.
So the theme is don't turn it over, huh, Jason?
Win basketball games. That's in my bag. Teaching, that's in my bag.
Good job right now running some clock. No quick shots.
They turned it over. You know, it feels if St. Bonaventure could hit a 3 that this would have a different sense to it. But there's just no offensive rhythm when they're not getting in transition.
Not at all. They're getting some turnovers by the Rams, but then they're coming right back, missing shots, and they turned it back over again, the Bonnies. He's one of those games that, fans will say, well, why is Coach Rose not happy? Yes, you're winning, but you want to be executing, playing good basketball, no matter the score, and they're not. I mean, they're winning this game. And that's a beautiful move by Deloach. But the turnovers is definitely, they don't feel like they're in control other than the score.
Well, it's 19 turnovers. But you've also seen a lot of beautiful passing in this ball game, too. And so Deloach will go to the free throw line with the opportunity to finish a three-point play. On a night where VCU is shooting 53% from the floor. Bonnie's 0-5 from beyond the arc here in the second half. 3 of 18 in the ball game. Attaway, tough jumper. Hason Ward just everywhere.
They can't get any buckets. Look at that pass. Now this is beautiful. We get a chance to see this one again. He made that play, Ace Baldwin. That play was developed because of his patience and eyes.
Well, now they got the numbers. He throws it over his off shoulder. Williams. Now that would have been the exclamation point, and we still have 4:08 to go. Welch into a triple team. None. Into the front court. The follow is there. Guess who? It's Hason Ward.
What a game for him.
What
a long time ago.
You've made a lot of great shots. You scored a lot of points. Where does that moment fit?
Well, it fits right up there. Just because you're playing bonus basketball, we call it, in a tournament, and it gets a chance for us to advance. And it's just huge. I mean, there's nothing like college basketball. The atmosphere. I mean, the relationships, the teammates. I still get a chance to have my, imprint all over Michigan State basketball. Not because of me, but my youngest is a sophomore playing for Michigan State, and I'm trying to watch the score right now and see what they're doing against the Wolverines.
I'm not going to tell you what's going on there.
Okay, don't tell me.
I'm not going to tell you. Jason Horowitz, Steve Smith, Evan Washburn as well. Ev?
I think that picture in that shot is apropos to what we learned today, Jason, from Steve. It doesn't count, really, if it's not nothing but net. And I think it all started back then, Steve.
Hey, Evan, you might be right. That's just the way you want to be perfect, and you want to knock down shots, and that's just the way I played. And not all of them were on net, but that's what you strive for.
Well, you and Mike Rose were having that conversation. You told him 100 shots before every game, right?
Yeah, all net. And then Mike Rose said, hey, that's what he did. He had to make 21 free throws before he left the gym all net.
Yeah.
I know a lot of young kids out here, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not going against it, but a shooting coach or a coach or anybody trying to teach you basketball, if you're making them all net, Jason, you can even shoot it the way you have your form, which is a little crooked and your elbow is out.
No, that was Evan.
Oh, that was you.
I've got the elbow out in a perfect angle.
Don't try to put this on Evan.
Williams to Curry, flying in one more time. Well, this is the other part, too, where you start being like, all right, well, if you're Mark Schmidt, do you think about, again, guys who you never sit, but do you think about sitting them here for the last 2.5?
It doesn't look like it right now. Maybe so. I think if you're VCU, you might want to start moving guys and making subs. What I think right now is VCU Rams are just running down this clock, and obviously they have this game in hand. still want to execute. Not trying to run up the score, you're trying to execute.
Baldwin is fouled by Lofton. They're still fired up. With 2:13 to go as we go back to what your keys to the game were brought to you by Daisy Brand Cottage Cheese.
Well, you see slow it down, and obviously the Bonnies wanted to, but the 12 fast break points, the VCU Rams got out, take and make threes. Not a check mark for the Bonnies. They were only 3 for 16. Generate offense for the VCU. 53% field goal percentage. They only scored 53 points last game against the Bonnies, and as you can see, Lofton coming out and also control the glass. They have definitely done that.
Lofton picked up a technical. We talked about the emotion that he was showing even this late in the game, down by 24. But Brian Dorsey thought it was too much, and he turned towards him, and there were some words exchanged, and he did give Kyle Lofton a technical. So the senior from Hillside, New Jersey, second in the conference in assists, and again, he was not happy with Enevan getting right in his face.
That was an easy call.
Now, math, as we've discovered today, is no longer my strength. Lip reading is. Kyle Lofton said all ball, but he said it literally in Brian Dorsey's face.
Yeah, he did. But your mathematical skills were on display earlier.
Would you like to share what it was?
I just know me and Evan was having eye contact. We both looked at each other and said,
I'll share. It was simple. We were talking about standings, and St. Bonaventure doesn't have, at least at this moment, unless something gets rescheduled, is not going to have the same amount of conference games as the other teams at the top. And we were talking about winning percentages. And somehow it came out of my mouth. Is 13-4 better than 14-4?
Yeah, you really said it with conviction, too.
Somewhere, right? Some math. 1 + 1 is 3. Jorium Saizamo in for Lofton, and a foul called. It's on Curry. 2:02 to go on what is going to be a party here in Richmond on a Tuesday night.
And the crowd is here. They were energetic. The fans were into it. Obviously, the Rams team was into it. I think we give Ace a lot of credit, give Ward a lot of credit, but this entire team has played well tonight.
Well, and Abdul Kareem Koulibaly got the start tonight for the injured Oshuni. And he played hard and tough while he was in there, but he picked up 3 fouls. He played with foul trouble for much of the first half. Got his 4th early. And KeShawn Curry, the senior, getting the send-off from the Seagull center court.
That is special. Started every game this season after 4 total starts in his first 3 years.
And he does have the option, as everyone who had the extra year of eligibility because of COVID-19, to come back. But as a senior, you never know. And this the final home game this year, with St. Louis being the final game this weekend on the road. And he had a massive impact in this one, too. Vince Williams with 4 on the shot clock. He steps back. He fires. And we're inside of 90 seconds on what has been a VCU party tonight. And Attaway gets the foul call. So VCU with the win tonight moves within a half game of Davidson. And a 21-7, 8 consecutive wins for Mike Rhodes' squad. St. Bonaventure will fall to 11-5. And they will have to work, Steve, to try and earn that double bye for the A-10 tournament in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, obviously they have to get healthy to give themselves a better chance. And Hason Ward is not playing. Hopefully he can get healthy.
Vince Williams, the other senior, in the starting lineup, also getting the standing ovation. And we talked about it all night long. He did not have his normal offensive output. Yes, he had 13. That is his average. But he was 3 of 11 from the floor. But it was everything else that he did tonight. 7 rebounds, 6 assists, couple of steals, block shot as well.
I love it that you brought that up. Sometimes everybody looks at a box score. That doesn't tell the whole story. We got a chance to see with our eyes the impact he had on this game.
Well, the committee next week will sit down and decide what to do with VCU if it does not win the Atlantic 10 tournament. But they are playing their best basketball when it matters most. And there's no denying that. Adams throws it away. And Mike Rhodes wants to keep this going. He wants to get Arnold Henderson onto the floor. Well, the first team timeout of the second half in all college basketball games become media timeouts, commercial breaks. And I only bring that up because Mike Rhodes took that timeout and he gave the signal to have it roll as in a rolling timeout. He did not know that that was the first team timeout of the half. And I bring that up because of what happened between Michigan and Wisconsin when Juwan Howard was not happy about the timeouts that Greg Gard took at the end of the game. But Mike Rhodes signaled over to the St. Bonaventure bench, and
yes,
it's all fine.
That's totally different with more than 47 seconds, more than close to a minute versus 3 seconds left.
But he wanted to get Arnold Henderson, the sixth into the ball game, a walk-on, who was playing for just the second time this season. He's got the ball with 7 on the shot clock. And on the drive, off the glass, can't finish. Took out one of our camera folk. It's a tough job down there.
Didn't drop the camera at all, though. Not at all.
No, we've done a good job with that tonight. Vince Williams came in our lap and saved the Dr. Pepper. All good. Saizano on the drive, and he'll go to the free throw line. Also getting some playing time, just his 9th game this season. So VCU will finish up this weekend at St. Louis. That road game is a net 1 opportunity, so that is huge for Mike Rhodes' squad, as they will go to that game on an 8-game winning streak, and then the A-10 tournament, which they will not play until the quarterfinals, as they have already secured the double bye. St. Bonaventure still has that opportunity as well, though it depends now what happens elsewhere around the league.
Yeah, that double bye definitely helps. You have some nagging injuries. You want to get some more practice time in. And the team you'll get a chance to face will have to grow through and play some games before they get a chance to play against you.
They get it across. They'll hold it. They'll end it. From start to finish, a VCU victory. 74-51 in dominant fashion tonight over St. Bonaventure. Now, they certainly enjoyed this one tonight in a 23-point victory for Coach Mike Rhodes, who's with Evan Washburn.
Jason, thanks. Well, Coach, when you factor in the opponent, what are you most pleased with the way your team played here tonight?
I just loved our approach today. It started with our defense. Our defense created some offense, and we got going. And then, you know, I thought we were excited to play today. I thought we had a good practice and a shoot-around today, and we were excited to play today, and that carried over to the game.
You guys always bring it defensively, but what was different over the course of this game?
Well, I thought we just contested more shots than we have against these guys in the past. We just guarded better and guarded their stuff better. Now, they were missing their big hoss inside, so that affects any good team. But I really appreciated how our guys showed up and guarded all their actions.
Lastly, as the calendar turns to March, how do you want your team to take this result as you move into the most critical portion of the year?
Well, number one is have fun, right? Because the games are pressure enough, they're exciting enough. Let's have some fun. Don't fight ourselves, right? The only way you keep playing is make sure you don't beat yourself and find a way to beat some really good teams. And, you know, the best thing is January and February, we built momentum into March.
Congrats on the win. It's fun to do this again.
Thanks. You got it.
All right, Evan, thank you very much. Yeah, this is March. They want to play in the tournament, and they look like they're ready for it, Steve Smith.
Yeah, I think so. They have a balanced attack. We know they can defend, they create havoc, and they can force turnovers. But what I love is in their half-court execution, the spacing was fantastic, the ball movement, and Ace ran the show to get those guys some easy looks and some easy opportunities.
74-51 dominate here tonight. For our producer, John Morales, our director, Andy Friedman, my partner, Steve Smith, and Evan Washburn, and our entire CBS crew, I'm Jason Horowitz. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Now let's send it to Lindsay Zarniak with Inside College Basketball. Lindsay?